As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Enjoy. Hey, I'm here today with another product review for Nutrient Survival. They sent me a bunch of their products to test drive and give you my honest review, and so I'm doing that. Um, haven't tasted this before, and so we're going to do that for the first time together. I'll give you my honest thoughts. So this particular product is their Hearty Apple Cinnamon Oatmeal. So that sounds pretty yummy. I'll show you before I open it. You can take a look at the can. Feel free to pause if you want to read the nutrition facts or if you want to look at the ingredient list, instructions on how to make it, a little more about the company, and then you can see there's 18 servings per can, which they're calling a serving a half of a cup. So about this much. I would say, I don't know if that ends up being more. I'll take a look once we add the water, but I would say I would plan for maybe 9 servings per container, just because in my family we would probably want more of a cup, which looks like that for a serving of oatmeal. 25 year shelf life, which you have the best by date printed right on the front there, which is helpful, and no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives, which I really appreciate. That you don't have to give up healthy eating in in an emergency situation. So, like I said, whenever you're planning for your emergency food supply, always take a look at the nutrition facts on the back there and make sure you're going based off of how much your family eats. So, half cup or a cup versus how much the company says is in the can, because they're just doing their best to guesstimate how much the average person would want, but your family might vary on that. So, these do come in tin cans, which are sealed really well. I love that. I appreciate it. And I also love that they include a lid so that once you've broken the seal on the can and you're in between uses on the can, you can still close it back up. I opened the Nutrient Survival cans from the bottom because I've got my busted old manual can opener here, which in the spirit of emergency preparedness, you're going to want something that is, gosh, it is truly a busted can opener because it's not working with me here. Anyway, in the spirit of emergency preparedness, you wouldn't want to rely on electric can openers. So, well, I guess my can opener doesn't like the bottom of this can either. See if I can get it with this can opener by chance. Different angle. Maybe. Here we go. This one just slices it a little bit differently. All right, good grief, sorry about that. So this is what it looks like. Looks like oatmeal. Ooh, it smells delightful. Oh my goodness. So oats and all kinds of stuff in there. You see the little apple chunks. So it's, oh my gosh, it smells really good. I'm excited to eat this. All right, so I'm gonna grab my bowl here. To mix, it says to use a half of a cup. I've got my cup measure here. I just guesstimate at what it's about a half of a cup. About a half of a cup. Half of a cup of the dry oatmeal to a third cup of water. So I preheated my water over here because if I don't have to eat cold oatmeal, then I won't. But certainly, if in an emergency situation, if you needed to use cold water, it would be just fine. So before I mix it, here's what it looks like as it's starting to reconstitute a little bit. It's gonna be hard for me to stir it and show you at the same time. So I'm just gonna give it a little stir and show you along the way what it looks like. So keep in mind when you are reconstituting, which is adding water back to foods that have been dehydrated or freeze dried, which a lot of your shelf stable foods have been, then it takes a minute to reconstitute. So if you dump the water in and you mix it up, like right now it's looking really soupy, don't be like, oh, this is not what I thought I was getting. It takes a minute. The company took a lot of time to draw all that water out, which is what makes it shelf stable for so long. And so it needs a minute to soak the water back in. So the thing about oatmeal too, I'm interested to see what the consistency ends up being here in another 30 seconds or so. The thing about oatmeal is people like it all different ways. So I know people who like it really, really soupy and people who like it really thick, like you could turn your spoon over and it's not going to fall off. So this looks like it's going to be somewhere in between, maybe a little on the thinner side. But I will say too, the nice thing about this, because you're adding the water in, is if you like it really thick, you don't have to add in all the water. The company didn't tell me that. I would just, that's my own 2 cents. And then if, of course, if you want it thinner, you can always add more water. So you can definitely see the oats reconstituting and the apples reconstituting, and it smells so good. It smells like autumn, cinnamon, and it smells really good. So, all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a taste here. I'm gonna show you what it ended up looking like. So hopefully you can see it ended up being, like I said, somewhere in between. It's not soupy and it's not just that really thick, but it is the consistency of oatmeal, I would say. So let's have a taste. Mm, that's really yummy. Yeah, that's really good. You can taste the apples. Uh, excuse me, got an apple down the windpipe. Um, yeah, you can taste the apples in there, which is really good. Um, they're not like they're a nice consistency. They're not dry and crunchy, but they didn't turn to mush either. And the oats, you can pick up that texture as well. So it reconstituted pretty nicely. There's a little bit. Let me one more time. There's an aftertaste that I can't put my finger on what it is, but it's not bad. I mean, so like I said, this company sent me a few products to try. A couple of them were breakfast products, and we've liked them so well that we actually have been eating them for breakfast after I reviewed them. We've got the eggs back there that my husband has really been enjoying. The home style scramble was really good. So this is probably going to join that rotation. My kids love oatmeal, so the kids will probably be eating that. But yeah, it's pretty good. Like I said, there's a little bit of an aftertaste that I can't put my finger on. It's not a bad aftertaste. It's just interesting. But I mean, it tastes like cinnamon apple oatmeal. It's really good. And of course, this is going to be shelf stable for a lot longer than you might be saying to yourself, why would I buy a can of it? Because oatmeal that I buy at the store is already dried, but those come in paper packets and things that would not last as long as this would. So things that come in a number 10 can especially are things that I really like to have around, because that's a really good seal. You don't have to question if it's still going to be good 10, 25 years from now, whenever the company has said it would still be good by. So yeah, this is pretty good, and I would say I would add it to my rotation.